These days, most of us are really conscious about what we eat. We try our best to make healthier choices to improve our overall well-being. But one critical element of nutrition often gets overlooked: macronutrients. You may have heard the term thrown around in discussions about diets, fitness, or even weight loss plans. But what exactly are macronutrients? Why are they so important to our health?
You guys have all heard the term macronutrient. Macronutrients are fats, proteins, and carbohydrates.
Dr. Jamie Rutland, who is a pulmonary critical care physician, talks about macronutrients. He explains that macronutrients include carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, which are the nutrients that your body needs in large amounts to function properly. Macronutrients are the building blocks of your diet and provide the energy and resources your body requires to survive. Today, we'll explore what each macronutrient does for your body, why they're important, and what happens when food is processed. So let's begin. Part 1. What are macronutrients?
So let's first do a quick overview of our macronutrients. So carbohydrates should make up between 45 to 65% of your daily calories, and each gram provides 4 kilocalories of energy. With lipids should make up between 20 to 35% of our daily calories, and each gram provides 9 kilocalories of energy. And then with protein should make up between 10 to 35% of your daily calories, and each gram of protein provides 4 kilocalories of energy.
Macronutrients are the nutrients your body requires in large amounts to produce energy and support various bodily functions. Each of the macronutrients, carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, plays a different role in your body, but together they form the foundation of a balanced diet. Without the right balance of macronutrients, your body can't operate at its best. You might be aware of the food pyramid, the Western Standard Diet, no? Here you are. Let's see what Dr. Jordan B. Peterson has to say about it.
My understanding is that the food pyramid was actually produced not by scientists or by MDs, although there were some MDs who were consulting, who were mostly ignored, but by the Department of Agriculture. And it was a marketing scheme, essentially. And that the consequence of the marketing scheme was that people were enticed and convinced to rely primarily on carbohydrates for their nutritional necessities, and perhaps carbohydrates at far too excess a level. Now, carbohydrates are transmuted into glucose during metabolism, and we eat way more carbohydrates than we need to produce the amount of glucose that we need. Now, people have been getting fatter in a catastrophic way for about 4 or 5 decades.
Dr. Jordan Peterson is a Canadian clinical psychologist, professor, and author known for his work on self-improvement. He explains that the U.S. food pyramid encouraged high carbohydrate consumption, but didn't differentiate between healthy and refined carbs, which led to misunderstandings about what a balanced diet should look like. In 2011, it was replaced by My Plate, a simpler guide that emphasizes balanced portions of fruits, vegetables, proteins, and whole grains. This shift highlights the importance of understanding macronutrients, carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, which are the building blocks of our diet. Think of macronutrients as the fuel your body needs to keep running. Just like a car needs gasoline to drive, the quality of that fuel, whether it's high octane or diluted, can greatly affect how well your body functions. Let's break down each macronutrient, its role in your body, and why it's essential for overall health. Part 2, carbohydrates, your body's primary energy source. Carbohydrates are often misunderstood and sometimes unfairly demonized, especially in diet circles. However, they are your body's preferred source of energy and play a critical role in keeping you fueled throughout the day. In fact, your brain, muscles, and other vital organs rely on carbohydrates as their primary source of energy. So, why are carbohydrates important?
So you got simple carbohydrates and complex carbohydrates. Simple carbohydrates are like sugar, honey, agave nectar. So what happens is that goes in your body really fast. And it spikes the sugar, it might give you some temporary energy, but then you're gonna come down because you have the hormone called insulin that regulates that. But then complex carbohydrates have a lot of additional things like fiber that slow the breakdown of the carbohydrate in the body. And so it doesn't create that same effect as table sugar.
Dr. Berg, a licensed chiropractor, explains that there are two types of carbohydrates. Simple carbohydrates are found in foods like candy, soda, and baked goods. And these are broken down quickly by your body, resulting in rapid spikes in blood sugar levels. While they provide quick energy, they lack essential nutrients and can lead to energy crashes. On the other hand, complex carbohydrates that are found in whole grains, legumes, and vegetables take longer to digest, providing a more sustained source of energy and helping to stabilize blood sugar levels.
But on a high carbohydrate diet, you got a lot of glucose left over. And so now the body stores it in what I call the most amazing fuel, quick fuel supply in the body. It's called glycogen. They're little molecules of glucose just sitting in your muscle cell waiting to be used.
Dr. Barbara O'Neill, an Australian naturopath and wellness educator, explains that when you consume foods rich in carbohydrates, such as bread, rice, pasta, fruits, and vegetables, your body breaks them down into glucose, a type of sugar. Glucose is then used by your body as immediate energy, or it's stored in your muscles and liver as glycogen for later use. This stored glycogen is crucial when your body needs extra energy during physical activities like exercise, or even during mental tasks that require intense focus. What are the functions of carbohydrates in your body? Well, carbohydrates play several important roles in the body. First and foremost, they are the primary source of energy, especially for the brain and muscles. Without enough carbohydrates, you may experience fatigue, mental fog, and a drop in physical performance. A study in the Journal of Sports, Science, and Medicine shows that a diet rich in carbohydrates can enhance performance and delay fatigue by ensuring that glycogen stores are replenished. Additionally, complex carbohydrates help regulate blood sugar levels thanks to their fiber content, which prevents spikes and dips in blood sugar and keeps your energy levels stable throughout the day. Carbohydrates also contribute to digestive health, as many carbohydrate-rich foods contain fiber that promotes regular bowel movements and helps prevent constipation. Part B, proteins, the building blocks of life. When most people think of protein, they think of muscle building. And while this is true that protein is crucial for muscle growth and repair, its role in the body extends far beyond that. Proteins are involved in nearly every cellular process, making them essential for overall health and well-being. Why is protein important?
Protein is the building block of your cells. It's the building blocks of your muscles. Also, in terms of a food that's going to improve your metabolism and fat burning potential, nothing is more important than protein. It really is the fuel that motivates and really supports your body in building healthy tissues and cells. So you need protein.
Dr. Josh Axe, a certified doctor of natural medicine, chiropractor, and nutrition expert, highlights the importance of proteins. He explains that protein is a macronutrient made up of amino acids, which are the building blocks of your body's tissues. There are 20 different amino acids, and while your body can produce some of them, 9 are considered essential, meaning you must obtain them through your diet. Protein is found in various foods, including meat, fish, eggs, dairy products, beans, lentils, and even some grains. Protein serves multiple vital functions in your body.
And when you're looking at me right now, you're basically looking at all my proteins. So it makes up the majority of my skin and my eyes. It has all the functions in the body. They basically make they are enzymes, so this makes reactions happen millions of times faster than they would without enzymes. They shuttle things by picking things up and taking them elsewhere. They can be receptors, they can bind to other things. Proteins have all the function in the body, so they're extremely important.
Dr. Mike highlights various roles that proteins play in our bodies. It plays a key role in tissue repair and growth, which is why athletes and bodybuilders prioritize protein intake. However, tissue repair isn't limited to muscles. Protein is also essential for maintaining healthy skin, hair, nails, and internal organs. Additionally, protein is crucial for enzyme and hormone production. with many enzymes that aid digestion and hormones like insulin being derived from proteins. Proteins also support the immune system by producing antibodies that help fight infections and illnesses. Lastly, when the body is low on carbohydrates, protein can be used as an alternative energy source to fuel the body. Part 4. Fats. Essential for health, not the enemy. For decades, fats were wrongly villainized as the enemy of a healthy diet. But recent research has shown that fats play a vital role in maintaining good health, and not all fats are created equal. Fats are essential for absorbing certain vitamins, supporting brain function, and providing long-lasting energy. Why are fats important? Fats are a dense source of energy, providing more calories per gram than carbohydrates or proteins, but their importance goes far beyond energy production.
50% of the membrane around every cell in the body is fat. Whether you're 100 kilos or 300 kilos, I'm talking about the membrane around your cell. Except for the brain cell, it's 70% fat. And that's little fatty sheath around the tail of the cell, that gets your brain cells up to 70%. In fact, the brain's the fattiest organ in the body, and you know what it loves to eat? Fat.
Fats help the body absorb fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K, which are crucial for maintaining healthy skin, bones, and immune function. Fats have several important functions in the body. They are the most efficient way to store energy, providing long-lasting fuel, especially when you're not eating enough. Fats also play a crucial role in keeping your cells healthy by supporting the structure of cell membranes. Lastly, certain fats are needed to produce hormones like estrogen and testosterone, which are important for both reproductive health and overall well-being. Part 5. What happens to the macronutrients when the food is processed? When foods are processed, like turning whole grains into white bread or rice, they lose most of their fiber, vitamins, and minerals. This leaves behind refined carbohydrates, which are often called empty calories because they provide energy but little nutrition. These refined carbs also spike blood sugar levels quickly, leading to energy crashes and hunger. Over time, a diet high in processed carbs can lead to weight gain, insulin resistance, and a higher risk of type 2 diabetes. Similarly, when these whole proteins like meat or fish are processed into products like hot dogs or deli meats, they lose some nutritional value. These processed proteins often contain preservatives and unhealthy fats, making them less nutritious and less effective for muscle repair and immune support. It's better to choose whole, unprocessed proteins for full nutritional benefits. Fats are also affected by processing. Healthy fats are often replaced with harmful trans fats, which raise bad cholesterol, LDL, and lower good cholesterol, HDL, increasing the risk of heart disease. Processed foods also tend to have unhealthy levels of saturated fats, which can lead to weight gain and clogged arteries. For better health, it's important to choose whole, unprocessed sources of fats like nuts, seeds, and olive oil instead of processed or fried foods. The dangers of processed foods.
Ultra-processed food is responsible for all of those diseases I mentioned at the outset of the program. It is responsible for all of the healthcare costs going through the roof, and it is responsible for our early decline. If you've noticed, lifespan in America has been declining for the last 5 years in a row, and it could be all traced back to mitochondrial dysfunction.
Dr. Lustig, a neuroendocrinologist with expertise in metabolism, obesity, and nutrition, highlights the serious dangers of ultra-processed foods, which are often low in nutrients and high in unhealthy ingredients. He explains that these foods can lead to obesity, type 2 diabetes, and heart disease due to their addictive nature and lack of satiety, causing people to overeat. Let's have a closer look at some dangers associated with processed foods. Number 1, loss of nutrients. When whole foods are processed, whether to extend shelf life, improve texture, or enhance flavor, many of the vital nutrients, including vitamins, minerals, and fiber, are stripped away. For example, Whole grains in their natural form contain fiber, B vitamins, and various minerals. But when processed into refined products like white bread or pasta, much of its nutrition is lost, leaving behind empty carbohydrates that provide calories but very little nutritional benefit. According to one study in the British Medical Journal, greater exposure to ultra-processed foods is associated with a higher risk of adverse health outcomes, including a 1.5-fold increase in cardiovascular disease-related mortality and a 1.12-fold increase in type 2 diabetes risk. Number 2, empty calories and overeating. Another issue with processed foods is that they are often calorie-dense but nutrient-poor. This means that they provide lots of energy, but very little in terms of essential nutrients like fiber, vitamins, and minerals. Foods like potato chips, candy, sugary cereals, and soda are classic examples of this. Number 3, high in unhealthy additives. Processed foods are often loaded with additives like preservatives, artificial flavors, and colors, which can have a negative impact on your health. For example, processed meats like bacon, sausages, and deli meats contain nitrates and nitrites, chemical preservatives that have been linked to an increased risk of cancer when consumed in large quantities over time. Number 4, impact on mental health. According to a study published in JAMA Network Open, individuals consuming 9 or more servings of ultra-processed foods daily had a 50% higher risk of developing depression compared to those who consumed 4 or fewer servings, highlighting the detrimental impact of these foods on mental health. It's not just physical health that suffers from a diet in high-processed foods. Mental health can be affected as well, and studies have shown a link between the consumption of processed foods and mental health issues, including depression and anxiety. Processed foods often lack essential nutrients like omega-3 fatty acids, magnesium, and B vitamins, which play a crucial role in brain function and mood regulation. Part 7, the benefits of whole, unprocessed foods.
Fiber binds up the glucose and it slowly releases it. Protein's broken down specifically in the stomach. And fat, it coats the food a little bit, so it takes a little bit longer to break down. That's good news because it means we don't have to be eating all day long. We can eat and forget about food for the next 5 or 6 hours.
Dr. O'Neill explains that by consuming a diet rich in whole foods, you are providing your body with all the macronutrients it needs, carbohydrates, proteins, and fats in their most natural and effective forms. This ensures that your body gets the energy and nutrients it needs to function optimally. Secondly, whole, unprocessed foods are typically lower in calories and higher in fiber compared to processed foods. This means that they help keep you feeling fuller for longer, making it easier to control portion sizes and avoid overeating. Additionally, a diet rich in whole foods can also significantly reduce your risk of developing chronic diseases like heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. Whole foods, grains, and vegetables are packed with nutrients that support heart health, regulate blood sugar levels, and reduce inflammation, all of which are key factors in preventing chronic conditions. Part 8, how to transition to a whole food diet. If you're ready to make the switch from processed foods to a diet based on whole, unprocessed ingredients, here are some tips to help you get started. Number 1, start small. Transitioning to a whole food diet doesn't have to happen overnight. Start by making small changes, such as replacing one processed meal or snack per day with a whole food alternative. For example, swap your sugary breakfast cereal for oatmeal topped with fresh fruits and nuts, or trade your bag of chips for a handful of raw almonds. Tip number 2, focus on fresh ingredients. When shopping for groceries, focus on fresh, whole ingredients. This includes fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, and healthy fats like avocados and olive oil. Try to avoid prepackaged processed foods as much as possible, and instead, opt for foods that are close to their natural state. Number 3, cook more at home. One of the best ways to ensure that you're eating whole, unprocessed foods is to cook at home. And when you prepare your own meals, you have full control over the ingredients you use, allowing you to avoid the added sugars, unhealthy fats, and excessive sodium found in processed foods. Tip number 4, read labels. If you do buy packaged foods, make it a habit to read the labels. Look for products with minimal ingredients and avoid foods with added sugars, additional preservatives, and trans fats. The shorter the ingredient list, the better. Macronutrients, carbohydrates, proteins, and fats are essential for maintaining good health and supporting your body's daily functions. However, the form in which you consume these macronutrients matters. Whole, unprocessed foods provide your body with the nutrients it needs to function optimally, while processed foods often leave you with empty calories and little to no nutritional benefit. By prioritizing whole foods in your diet, you can improve your energy levels, maintain a healthy weight, reduce your risk of chronic diseases, and even support your mental well-being. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and share for more insightful content like this. Remember, you are what you eat, so nurture your health and remember to take your daily dose of longevity seed for a vibrant life.